Good morning, everybody. You are tuned to Computers 2K Now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Amnon, your host for the next couple of hours, along with Spence.
Yes, sir.
Good morning. And Nick is here.
Hi.
Mike said that he's not going to be here today. Gal, I didn't hear from. Maybe he'll join us. Number 919-518-9773, Computers 2K Voice on Skype. And today's show is made possible by vMix Software, Telestream's Wirecast software, and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear.
Without them working diligently in the background, turning the gears
They're turning the
of
gears.
the back of the back office, we wouldn't
Yeah.
be here. We'd be out
So,
in the street somewhere.
no, Spence was asking me, he said, do you have a cold? Friday afternoon, I started, my throat started kind of itching, and an hour later, it was bad. Didn't have temperature, didn't have any other symptoms other than that. Kathy blamed it on, we had somebody come on Friday about 2:00 to spray outside for mosquitoes. So Kathy blamed it on that.
Sounds like you got a dose of
Yeah, right.
non-GMO chemicals making you sick. That's what it sounds like to me.
But and that night, Friday night, it was bad. I got up in the middle of the night, had a cup of hot tea, it got better. Next morning, it was bad, and throughout the day, it got better and better and better and better. It's almost. I mean, right now, I don't feel anything in my throat. It's normal. But now I'm stopped up, so I think it's allergy.
I have corroborating evidence.
Yeah,
that I normally take something for allergies.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize with the trip I was on, when I got back, I normally have that stuff all ready to go, and I forgot to do the allergy stuff.
Oh,
And within a few days, I'm like, why am I sneezing so much? Why am my eyes were literally watering. I'm super allergic to grass, specific types of grass. And I normally, when I cut the grass, sometimes I wear a mask, but I realized I haven't taken the allergy pills. So I got them out and I took them, and within 24 hours, I felt a lot better. But yeah, I think there's a lot to it.
Well,
do you take allergy medicine?
I didn't. I normally do in the beginning of the spring. But I'm not allergic to grass. I'm allergic to more of the tree pollen and trees.
Yeah, I'm allergic to,
And they're there now too.
all different kinds, especially the warm season grasses like Bermuda grass and centipede and all that stuff. It's like when they did the tests on me years ago, they put that stuff on my forearm, and it blew up to double its size. That's how allergic I was.
Wow.
But that was a while ago, and they said it would, as you get older, you kind of grow in and out of the stuff, and it's not as bad as it used to be.
So I'm sorry if I sound kind of sick, but
froggy.
I'm not. I'm really not sick. I'm just yeah. Anyway, So what else is happening?
Well, when it's a good time, let's talk about the challenges I'm facing with fixing this machine. I haven't done an upgrade install on Windows 7 in a while, or done scan for changes in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So we could just
Yeah, go ahead.
talk about that. No,
Absolutely.
is now a good time?
Yeah.
Well, every once in a while, you get one of those issues where you've got a machine that it's just not going to be easy to do a clean install on, because there's number one, it's got BitLocker on it, and it's for a reason, because of the nature of this business is that they have to have encrypted drives. So one of the things I like to do whenever I have a machine like this is I like to clone the drive and then work on the clone drive. And if I find a solution that works without changing something, or I'm reluctant to go in and do things. The symptom here was um, Windows 7.
Mm-hmm.
It's Pro. It's not Ultimate. Working okay. BitLocker environment. It's got the BitLocker key on a flash drive. You put in the hardware password. It's an HP machine, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
HP i7. You put in the BitLocker password when the machine first boots up, enables, and you go. It boots. Well, if you just let it run during a normal boot up, it will just, during the Windows 7 logo screen will just freeze, and that'll be it. You have to restart the machine. You can get into safe mode. You can force recovery a couple of different ways, but have done all of the recovery, all of the startup repair. Sometimes it finishes, sometimes it doesn't. And then when you restart the machine, same problem. Just locks up it takes a good 4 or 5 minutes of running before the machine actually freezes. But I am able to get into safe mode. I could not load safe mode with networking. It would freeze. But I was able to load regular safe mode. I was able to access files I put a USB drive on there and I backed up.
Mm-hmm.
Most everything is backed up. There are some personal things this person has on the machine, pictures and documents, which I've backed up. All their critical stuff is in Dropbox. But so the next step I'm going to go to, but problem is cloning the drive because it's got BitLocker turned on. I tried to use Acronis, and it says no, you have to turn BitLocker off. Can't back this drive up. So I'm gonna try Macrium next, because according to what I read, I think Macrium will actually clone it. I don't know. I'm gonna try it. But short of that, if I can't clone the drive, then the next step is to do scan for changes. And by loading the Windows disk from a CD, and then you command prompt, you scan for changes. And there's a couple of command line things you have to do. It's not complicated. The good news is I just have to make sure you point to the right partition. What?
I said, dang.
Yeah. So, and then the next thing I can try is, remember how in XP you used to be able to upgrade or write over it? If you had a bad install, you could go in and just install over it.
Repair.
It wasn't that big a deal because there weren't that many updates to XP. Now, when you do an upgrade like this, you're going to put it back to the factory.
That's
disk.
fine. That's okay. So
no,
what?
it's okay.
Yeah.
But the process in Windows 7 is not as easy as it was in XP. But the part that I see is just I don't remember. Wasn't there a step in Windows 7 where you would go through and you'd select the second version of repair? Remember that?
That was in
It
XP.
was the first one that you didn't do because
that was XP.
That was XP. All right,
Yeah.
so that's what I was thinking. I didn't, because I'm saying I don't remember this in Windows 7. I didn't have to do it that much in Windows 7, to be honest.
Spence, don't worry about the updates, because the way that I do it is right after I finish. If I do something like this, I use that offline updater for Windows 7, and I go and I download the latest one, and you just leave it. You don't have to nurse it. You just leave it, and it goes and it restarts the machine, and it does the next one and the next one and the next one. Come back, it's back to where it.
Are there multiple versions of that? Is there one I should avoid
Of what?
of the offline updater?
No, you tell it to do the updates. I mean, I never checked. Maybe there is a way to do it selectively, but I don't think so.
No, what I mean is offline updater, the person who created this, right? Let's see.
Created that. What is that?
Isn't it a utility that somebody created? It's not from Microsoft.
It's not from Microsoft.
No,
No.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Is there more than one
Oh,
version of
I
this?
don't. I'm sure there is. I don't have the name of it right on top of my head, but I have it on my thumb drive.
Isn't
the
it
office.
WSUS? Is that
That's
it?
it.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just want to make sure there wasn't something
Yeah,
else out
but you
there.
need to download the latest one
Right.
because
No, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's got the roll-ups of all the latest.
right, and then
Yeah.
you just leave it, and it does it all by itself.
Oh, I'm not so much worried about
so-
that. I'm just I would like to not have to go through. They're going to be doing a refresh soon, and actually, what I'm working on for this customer next is Windows 7. In this particular business, they got to pay attention to. They're getting notifications about Windows 7 support ending and all that. They're ready, and we're put off doing 10 as long as possible. Now it's time. So looking at hardware, looking at having just a plan basically to move to Windows 10 machines. So it's okay.
Yeah, Nick did that a few times.
Did what?
Fixing Windows 7 and reinstalling.
No, not true at all.
What?
Windows
Not true?
7?
Huh?
Windows 7?
Oh, that's right. Never mind.
I
You were
don't, I don't,
thinking-
I don't use
yeah,
Windows 7
yeah,
at all.
that's
I don't
right.
have a single computer with Windows 7.
Yeah.
To be honest, I just haven't had to do it that much. And usually I just don't even bother. I just do a clean install. I'd rather do a clean install. But in this case, with the BitLocker issue, I really would like to not turn BitLocker off and then turn it back on again. So, because it's going to have to go through the whole encryption thing again. And just the dangers of doing that and something going wrong. Now, I still don't know what caused this problem. Was it an update? Because it was a few days after the latest update that it actually died. But the symptom was a blank screen, not blue screen, a blank screen, black, nothing, dead.
You wouldn't know.
While using the machine, the screen went black. Machine's still on, all that, nothing, no cursor, nothing, as though the display driver went bad. So I tried rolling the driver back, no change, and there's no new driver since like 2011. This machine, 12. It's older.
Yeah, it'll be just guessing.
Yeah, and then I thought that, well, I tried to hook up an external monitor and switch to that to see if there was an actual, maybe there was an onboard issue. Couldn't get that to work. So
Now,
yeah, it's time. I mean, these are older machines, worked good for years and years. Although I'm doing research and I would prefer to stay with HP, and boy, I'm seeing some really terrible reviews.
Ooh, the new
Of
HP laptops are garbage.
HP laptops, and especially the HD laptop docking stations.
If you're, does it need a docking station?
Well, I would like them to have that.
Do they
simply
have that
because of the
now?
Convenience. No, they
But
don't.
go with Lenovo if you want a docking station.
And
They've
that's
got
what
the
I was going to
best.
recommend.
Yeah.
I've installed this in this same office. It's a shared space with a bunch of different small businesses in it. I have another customer there that I set up with 2 Lenovo Carbons with
Yeah.
docking stations.
Mike Phillips speaks very very highly of I think he has the X1 carbons at his office with the docking stations, and
Yep.
he speaks
have
very
in
highly
my-
of those.
I have an early Carbon. Actually, it's actually in my hand here.
Yeah, there you go.
That I inherited. That's got a Lenovo docking station, and it's great. I mean, what I like about the Lenovo is they still use now the USB-C has changed this now. USB-C docking stations are so much easier to use because it's standard. There's no proprietary connector, and they're fast enough to run video and all that, and networking at the same time. Uh, the Lenovo one I have, because it's older, has a proprietary um, docking station connector.
Yeah.
But what I like about it is a single connector. You plug it in, it's got two USB 3s, it's got a couple of display ports, it's got an HDMI, it's got a VGA, it charges the machine without having anything special. It's got plenty of wattage to do that.
Don't
just
forget
like
about
it.
don't forget about the most important part, though. It
What?
looks like a mini idea center
Yes.
desktop, which is, of course, the best part.
Yeah, I just wasn't impressed at all. And I'm going to have to talk about that with them, that I think that the Lenovo is going to be a better solution.
Frankly, Spence, I don't know anybody else that is doing docks besides Lenovo at this point. You're right. With USB-C, there are a whole bunch of third-party docks, but I don't know any. But Dell probably still has some. But Dell and Lenovo,
the ratings on HP docks are just like, more people hate them than like them. And that's on their page. That's on their webpage.
yeah,
That's not like, some engineered, unless they try to make it better than it is. But that's pretty bad. So yeah,
Interesting.
the dock idea is a good idea, and just to organize cables. And one thing I noticed, though, that backup drives don't like to work through docks. Like to have it directly connected.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, but you can always hook them directly to the machine.
and they do.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I'm setting up the Lenovo that I have. I take a machine with me. I take a laptop with me when I go to Alaska. I really don't have to, but I like to have it with me anyway, just in case. And I've been taking my Mac, and you know what? The Mac's just too dang heavy. It's a
Come
it
on.
is. It's not an ultralight. It's the very first unibody Mac, solid aluminum chassis, basically. It still works. It's just too heavy. This Lenovo is like 1/3 the weight of that Mac. And the power supply is about the same weight, I guess. So I'm switching over now. I'm trying to get everything moved. I'm syncing. I'm going to use Firefox Sync to sync up all the shortcuts and all that stuff, just to make it easier.
As far as Lenovo, is it considered a US made, or is it a Chinese import at this point?
That is a good question. I don't think it's considered. Well, it might be. You have to look. Sometimes you have to look at the description. It might say assembled in China from U.S. components. I'm thinking it's going to be a mix of both. They're with even before the trade war, the tariff restrictions have an effect on classification of a product. Like, for example, cars have to say, they like to have it where 51% of the cars assembled in the United States to make it get around some import taxes. So I do think they do the same thing with these products. I'm not really sure. And they also make it extremely difficult to read. My eyes are getting older, that's true. But when they stamp information on the back of the machine here, it's not inked on there. What they do is they just kind of buff the spot where the letters are. You can't read it. I'm looking at this thing now. It says 4th generation Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon, right? Damn, I'm having a hard time reading it.
No, it's okay.
2016 Lenovo, so it's relatively new.
Those are expensive computers.
I'm trying to see if it actually has a assembled made in China. Okay.
Interesting.
Right now, I just care if it works.
Yep.
And we can't, and Joey says China junk. Yeah, we can't get around it, unfortunately, unless we move manufacturing back to the United States, and we're willing to. I mean, there's a lot of people talking about how there isn't that much difference in cost as much as it used to be, but even if it was 10 cents a machine, it adds up if you do 1 million machines. So and it's going to take a while if we ever get back to that point where we have stuff completely made in the United States. Wasn't there
Yeah.
controversy over one of the big manufacturers? Used to be a lot of United States manufacturing. I can't remember, the Flextron, I think it was called. They did a lot of OEM building, system build for lots of different companies. And they were going to open a new plant in the United States. And I don't know whatever happened to that.
Mm.
They actually bought manufacturing sites. This is back 10 years ago or more. They bought manufacturing sites all over North Carolina for the companies that manufactured in Research Triangle Park and operated them for them as a contractor. But eventually they moved most stuff offshore. I remember dealing with design build shops in India and places like that where I worked for the company, and they have design build where it used to be you sent them the design and then basically you sent them the requirements and they design built it and made it under your logo. But you could call the same guy that would work for your company and 5 other companies. Say, I'm calling from company X. Oh, okay. Well, today I'm working for company Y, and tomorrow I'm working for company Z. And it was a very weird environment where they were not dedicated to working for your organization. Oh well.
Anyway, let's see what we have here. I didn't know these things actually existed, but that's very interesting here. Various YouTube summer camps have begun launching across the nation, designed to turn regular elementary and middle school aged children into bonfire internet sensation. For a recent report from a Wall Street Journal, parents are spending nearly $1,000 a week for their children to learn how to create branded social media related content. Though YouTube is not affiliated with or in any communication with any summer program, such camps are on the rise, and parents with means have made them a thing. Knew about space camps, but for YouTube, for creating content.
This is an interesting thing. I was thinking about this the other day.
Yeah.
YouTube is great, right? Content creation is great. And I've done a lot of content creation as well as you have, Amnon and Spence and Gal's here. Hey, Gal. Well, we've all done our fair share of content creation. I still believe, and I could be wrong on this, I still believe there is this false sense of security, this false sense of hope that just because you upload some videos to YouTube, you can make that your career. And that is literally every single minute of every single day, as more people decide to start uploading content, that is becoming more and more improbable and more unlikely.
What's the first thing you hear somebody say when you go to their YouTube site? I'm going to show you how to change the oil on this car, right? Like me, follow me, right?
Like,
And
subscribe, hit the bell.
it's unbelievable. These people need to take classes because the production quality of some of this stuff is horrible.
Well,
It's like a
but
guy holding his camera under the car, trying to, his phone, I should say, recording this thing. And I'm going to show you how to. It's like it is horrible.
but
And yet,
but Spence, there are
Amnon,
two different
Amnon.
things here.
Nick,
You
Nick.
are and Nick. What?
Go. Amnon.
Oh,
Spence.
morning.
Spence.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Here they're talking about teaching kids how to create content for YouTube. What we're doing, that's not what we're doing. We are creating the content. It's a byproduct. It's
Oh, no, I
because
agree.
we're doing it and it goes there. A lot of these people you're talking about, Spence, are people who want to share something that they do. And yes, they're not professionals like we're not. They're not producers. but they want to help. And you'll be lying if you said that you did not gain knowledge from the stuff on YouTube, right? From those
Oh,
people
some
that
but what I'm
don't know.
saying is there are some people out there, and unfortunately, there's some that really do it well, and
Yeah,
they do it by the seat of their pants. It's not real
yeah,
professional, but
correct.
they're very aware of what it looks like. There are other people out there, though, that are doing it because they wanna monetize something who have no
Exactly. That's what
clue
I have a problem with.
what they're doing, and they put bad information out there.
Mhm.
They tell you and here's the underlying issue, right? Everybody wants to be famous, right? That's the opium of Facebook and all these different things is how many likes did I get? How
Mhm.
many people looked at my page? How many people saw my picture? It's like it's they're catering to that mindset. Every kid, what do you want to be when you grow up? A rock star. What do you want to be? Nobody wants to be a fireman anymore. Nobody wants to be, I want to be a carpenter. Everybody wants to be famous. And they're just catering now to, and parents are paying for this. What are they turning these kids into?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Nobody
Absolutely.
goes, nobody goes into this. Well, I shouldn't say nobody. There are some really good web pages. There's one in particular that I really like. It's called Project Farm on um, YouTube, and it's a wacky site that started out. This guy, I'm not sure exactly what his business is, but he'll do a project like, all right, can we run a lawnmower by gluing the head on using JB Weld? It's crazy stuff. Like,
Yeah.
what's the best fastener for sheetrock? And he builds a demonstration and a test that is excellent. I mean, it's just he really is thorough. It's not a real professional operation. It's gotten better over the years, but the guy, I applaud him. And he's got another business, so that's not his own thing. But he does a really good job. Um, but some of them out there, I just want to be famous. And making money off of it is great, but I don't think the goal should be making money off of it. The goal should be, let's try to come up with something that people like to see, and you're helping them with. It's got we some professional, some production quality that actually looks good.
and
Yeah, the
but keep in mind that those camps are probably that's exactly what they're trying to teach,
Oh, and I agree. But
right?
what is the expectation of the child,
But
right?
what is the expectation of anyone who loads something to YouTube, right? It's first of all, I want more people to see it. Otherwise, I wouldn't upload there, even if it's a family event, right? I want the entire family to see it. So I upload it to somewhere that I want to share. Now, whether it's a commentary on our society that these things exist, that's always true. But um, I mean, anyone who's looking at the successful channels, those who start from scratch, right? There is some knowledge to be gained there. There is some. My main problem with those camps, well, is whoever is running them, right? Because if you look at the history of self-help books, right? Uh, those who sell the books are those who not necessarily succeeded, but they have succeeded in selling books,
Oh yeah, and
right?
that's
So
what's a little scary about this is, yes, that's true, but parents are paying to send kids to do this, right? They just are not adults. When I go to college, I'm going to decide I'm going to do something like this. These
parents
are
are also
kids.
sending kids to math camps.
Well, why don't we send them to why don't we sign them up for, uh, training them on all these, it's helicopter parenting at its worst.
Here's the one thing I will say. And before we go any further, I would like to tell you to like and subscribe to my channels on YouTube. I appreciate that. Um, but all joking aside with it, the good thing about some of this stuff, depending on what they're learning in these camps, and frankly, I'd never heard of them until Amnon brought this up. You know, I'm dealing with this now at the radio station. Is we're looking forward at some of this new this new form of media, this new age uh, type of content online. So depending on what they're learning, if they're just being brainwashed into, oh, all you have to do is upload 2 times a day at 1 in the morning and 1 in the late afternoon, and once you get these videos, an MCM will sign you, and then you'll be making all this money. If that's what they're learning, that's a huge problem. If they're actually learning what makes um, a video interesting, what makes a piece of content interesting, how to frame things in a shot. If they're actually learning that stuff, it's good. But I fear that they don't, Spence, and I think
They,
it's probably
they don't,
something like
because
YouTube.
the word the article used is that they're trying to turn regular elementary, middle school and elementary school children into internet sensations. That's the thing. It's to turn them into internet sensations, not to teach them how to write, how to make it. I mean, we're going to make you a sensation, and
Yeah, but I wonder
that's
what that
wrong right
means.
there.
So, okay. So, is it more like okay? So then, is this closer to like an acting camp than it is a YouTube camp? Because
Yeah,
that's what it sounds like.
I just went to one of the sites,
Yeah, let's hear
and
it.
what it does is shows kids 6 and 7 years old, like standing in a set. Like, I'm going to tell you today about how it's like, it's
Donald Trump is
acting too.
bad.
It's acting too. It's not just the production side of it. They're trying to create internet stars.
Orange man bad. Orange man bad. Hi,
Yeah.
where's my camp? Learn on
Oh my
watch my
gosh.
videos. Subscribe to my channel.
It's like the article is like, teach kids to become YouTube stars, not teach kids how to become production
See?
assistants on this stuff, but teach them how to be a YouTube star.
But that's the article. As
Nobody
you
wants-
said, go to the site where you see they're not talking about sensation. They're talking about production. They're talking about the skills, and it's always about the skills.
Yeah, but I as a parent who's been a parent a long time, and this maybe disqualifies me from commenting on the latest generation or not. You're not helping the kid by doing this now. It's this way.
Why not? Why not? If we would have sent our kids to photography class or to videography class if we had a video camera and they liked using it.
True, but the
So
goal
it's
of the
the same
camp,
thing.
the goal of that camp back then was, I'm going to learn how to do photography.
But if
The
you
goal
look
of
at the
this camp is, I want to be famous.
no, the goal of the article was that we think that. But I can't find a single course that says we'll make you an internet sensation. It's the interpretation of
The
whoever
article.
wrote
That's
the
a good
article,
point. That's a good point, Gal. Yes,
right?
that can be
So
very well so, but it's still, um, you're taking something. What do you think is going to happen to that kid when he comes back to school and he tells his friends that he went to a quote unquote YouTube camp? And so what? Do you have any videos? Oh yeah, put video. Oh no, I don't.
I think a kid that
It's
young
but
is not capable of saying, well, this is going to be my career in the future, and I'm going to be a backstage production person. for
I
this."
agree. I agree. But then
It is
again,
because
the
they
only one
want to be, I want people to see what I have to do.
I
So the
agree.
motivation is wrong, whether their camp has a good intentions or not.
Well, I agree, but we're crucifying kids and their parents based on the opinion of one person who wrote a wrong article. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the article is wrong. The article is painting black something that is actually rather naive and nice. Teaching
maybe.
kids how to use right the software suite that Amnon is using right now. Teaching kids how to use video editing software. Teaching kids how to use and teaching them that they can also upload this and share this with their friends in YouTube, not create a YouTube sensation. The
Well, then maybe
YouTube sensation part, right? That's the part that ticks us off of why would parents do that to kids at this age?
Mhm.
And that's not an issue.
Well,
That's not there.
Gal, it's not just one article out there. I'm finding lots of articles that are talking about like the headlines.
Wait,
Now,
wait.
maybe the articles are all sharing information. Parents are spending thousands on YouTube camps to teach kids how to be famous. This is a different article. This is from
Yeah, nothing
uh,
changed since the 70s.
recent, and then there's another article from a different source.
Here's the thing, though. Maybe the problem is the name of this. Why is it being called? Okay, Gal. I agree with you totally. So then, why is it being called YouTube Camp? Because that, frankly, that's in itself is a BS name for the camp.
Yeah,
It's
and-
not YouTube Camp.
and
It should
even
be
I
this-
agree, but notice the first thing that's said about these YouTube camps, that YouTube is not affiliated.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
Somebody's using, so it's like somebody right now creating a camp, calling it Nissan Communication Camp.
No, but the stigma with calling something
right.
YouTube Camp is that you're going to be making, your kids whatever you're using. Okay, so if we're agreeing with what you're saying, if you're learning how to use Adobe Premiere and After Effects and Blender and Cinema 4D and all of these video things, then it's not really YouTube Camp.
This
kind of
I'm
the-
Well,
looking.
it's
I'm
not,
looking.
it's not only that, it's content creation for
Yeah, content creation camp. That's a great
Right.
name for it.
you can call it TV production camp.
Agree.
You wanna
May-
tell
well,
me
maybe-
nobody
well,
sent their kids
the
ever
ad-
to
You
a
got to
camp.
look. If you look at the average, you do a search on this. I'm finding sites. Video production. Start your own YouTube channel.
Right.
Right. Skill level, beginner, advanced, 10 to 12 years old.
Yeah, because
Right.
that's the audience of the. That's
Start
not a
the,
problem.
that is the teaser. Start your own YouTube channel.
You
It's
know-
not
you know
learn
some-
video production.
Yeah, but there's
It's
one right
start your own
here.
YouTube channel.
It's called the YouTube Star Creator Camp.
See, that's
go.
the
Yeah.
wrong thing. That's
That's
the
a
wrong. And
problem.
Become an, this
I agree.
here it is right here. It's $375 a week. Become an internet sensation in our brand new YouTube Star Creator Studio Summer Camp. This camp branches out from traditional storytelling to how to create the fun and hilarious content that kids like to watch, and we'll explore how-to video subjects like yada yada yada. It is the first week is June 10th.
I agree. The marketing spiel, I would not send my kid to that.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way. Yeah.
There's a lot of this stuff, and that's
And
I
you know
mean-
what? And you know what? To back Gal up here, they said that YouTube says that they're not. I mean, the article says that YouTube is not affiliated.
of course not.
It may be that, and here again, it's misleading that these camps are using the word YouTube in order to entice parents to send their kids there. And when parents or when kids hear about YouTube, what do you think they think about? About just old videos or family videos, or
But here's
no,
the thing.
they
Of
think about
course.
money.
But I would make the argument. I would make the argument today that YouTube has become a verb, the same way that
Yeah.
Google has become a verb, and YouTube is not necessarily YouTube. YouTube is exactly what Google is. It's videos online. Everything is YouTube. I mean, so
Yeah,
the
and
concept is
it's
the same.
marketing, and it's marketing.
yeah.
But the problem is parents are falling for it.
Well, because I think there is this sense of false, and again, this is coming
Right.
from somebody that has been doing some of this stuff for a long time. And when I first started, there was a false sense of whatever that all it takes is upload some content to the internet, and the companies are going to be beating down your door trying to give you free stuff.
You're right. I think it's just it might just be a new spin on how they market, because I'm looking through now and I'm finding lots of content camps that don't say anything about YouTube.
No?
Film camp for teens, right? New York Film Academy, 7 camps for kids to learn filmmaking. And
Yeah, see,
editing.
now that's better.
But tell me this though, as a parent, is that not an intriguing thing that you can make, that your 10 or 11-year-old kid could become? There are plenty of very
yeah.
young YouTubers that are I mean, they're going to go on and have very successful careers based off of that. Is
Yeah.
that not something that you as a I don't know, I'm not a parent. thank
Just
God.
like
But-
parents sends their kids 8 and 10 and 12-year-old to beauty
To
Yeah.
be fair,
yeah, you know.
I see the point of this, and I'm probably reacting because I have seen so many. My son went to a local school here that turned out to be a scam,
Yeah.
and
Really?
spent. Yeah, we lost $12,000 basically for this place that advertised itself as being a filmmaking school, and it was for kids who were college age, and it was exposed that the guy that ran it actually was had a school in Minnesota that was closed down because of inappropriate. They were taking money from early release programs from prison, and these kids would never show up, but he would be charging the state, and it was really a mess. Doing the same thing here. And it was a scam, and nobody would ever take anybody who graduated from this school. It would actually be a detriment to you trying to find a job. That's how bad it was. But it was advertised. They had good instructors the first semester.
And a great name.
After the first semester, they all quit because they said this is ridiculous. It was insane. But yeah, so it was. I having come from that background where they promised the world. I was actually involved in bringing in the state to review them and to try to get them basically shut down. I went to the newspapers. I did everything. I was part of the campaign to shut this thing down. And the guy who was the head of curriculum actually quit. And we were working together to try to shut this off. It's still there. The guy who originally founded it is gone, but the same woman who ran it is still running it. And it's gone through several different names. It's still in Raleigh. And it is a shame. You go to their webpage, oh, learn this, learn that. And you will never, ever ask Katie Amnon about the local school, and she will know and roll her eyes and say, oh, yeah, we know all about this place, and it sucks people in.
Yeah, I remember when you were going through it.
They were getting student loans for these kids up front, and you were paying deposits, and the guy was on the guy who was
Any idea what's the name of it today?
No, but it used to be, it had gone through some really crazy names.
Raleigh School of,
they called it the Video Circus or something like that for a while, because he built these round buildings from the outside that looked like circus tents. It was just, oh my gosh. I remember meeting there and getting we got the actual quote from the man that founded it, because all the parents were upset. He says, oh, I don't have to worry. I just have to pull the wool over their eyes for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So I'm coming from that background where I'm always skeptical about anything. I remember looking at some correspondence schools when I was younger, when I was looking to get some technical skills, and I had people come to the house and try to sell me these courses, and I find out they're all crap.
Well, look at what was that big school that just got shut? Not just a couple of years ago. The ITTT Technical, was it ITTT? I mean, their entire operation got shut down, and a lot of that
for financial reasons, because they were doing shady stuff.
Well, yeah, and frankly, because they were promising. I mean, growing up, I always saw commercials for ITT. Was it ITTT Technical, something like that?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, and I remember seeing the commercials for those schools, and like, oh man, that looks cool. And because I think that there's probably some false sense of hope and reality with that. So,
all right. So it's 10 o'clock. Spence, you want to do the specials?
Sure. Let me open it.
Let's do that, so then we can go back to discussing.
Let's see here. Got to make it bigger. So, Amnon, I didn't realize that you had actually gotten Elton John to open for us on the world tour.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I can't see what you're seeing because I have it open locally. Oh, you do have it open. Okay.
All right.
The crowds have been absolutely amazing. I tell you.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, well.
All right.
All right. Computers 2K Now specials for May 26th, 2019.
25th.
Nick and I were going to be soliciting
26
comments at the end, because we were discussing earlier potential format change to how we do this. And how, to be honest, it's just too repetitive. We need to come up with something different. And but I couldn't just change it like on a Sunday morning, because it would take too long. I would never get it done.
Oh, it's all right.
But that said, actually, we should just get comments from people. Do you like the way it is now, and what would you like to see changed?
Look, no, I disagree.
No? Okay.
I disagree with that. You do it the way that you want, because you need to enjoy it too. It's not just, okay, yeah, we want it to be that, and then you're gonna have to do it the way that you have the creativity. You're doing it. You like to do it. I don't want to get it to the point where it's going to be a chore and say, "Oh, I hate
Well,
this,"
no,
but
no,
that's the way.
I want to keep it fresh, and that's what I'm saying. Is
Then just
I would like to. I'm at the point now where I'm ready to try new things. So
then just do.
I actually, my parents actually paid for me to go to How to Make Specials camp, and
that's it.
they
Oh,
told me, they showed me all the useful tips. So I'd be
That's
happy
right.
to enlighten you after the show.
wait, we need to hire a 10-year-old who's gone to one of these camps to develop the content for us. That's the
Sorry,
problem.
sorry.
Oh boy.
Yep.
All right. So laptops, we've got a nice entry-level laptop at Best Buy. It's an Intel 14-inch, or should HP 14-inch Intel i3 for $329, which is $70 off. Office Depot has a Lenovo IdeaPad L340 15.6 for $449, which is $180 off. This is a nice business machine, an i5, 8 gig memory, 1 terabyte. Staples has an HP i5, 8 gig, 1 terabyte for actually this is a 17.3, same price, but this is a larger format machine. If you like lugging around a 17.3, or you're going to use it for entertainment, then it's worth it to have the bigger screen. Although I remember when they first came out, they had a hard time fitting them in backpacks. It has to be designed to take a 17.3 inch screen.
Yes.
Yeah. Desktops, all-in-ones. We've got an entry-level HP Pavilion desktop with a Ryzen 3 at Best Buy for $389, which is 70 off. HP 23.8 inch at Office Depot. This is a touchscreen all-in-one with an AMD A9 for $499, which is $180 off. And we've got an HP 24-inch all-in-one desktop with a i3 at Staples for $499, which is $120 off. Tablets. It's always hard to find tablets at all these sites. Best Buy is consistent. They usually have at least one. Today they had a Samsung Galaxy Tab S5e, and they had a couple of kids' tablets. But Office Depot and Staples don't have dedicated tablets typically in their ads. So I've been including touchscreen convertibles. But Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.5, 64 gig, $399 at Best Buy. Office Depot has a Dell 14-inch touchscreen convertible laptop for $479. It's an i5, $220 off the regular price. And Staples has a Dell 14-inch for $599. This is a 12 gig with a 256 solid state drive, which is $200 off the regular price. Best Buy has the Linksys Velop tri-band mesh system for $399, which is $80 off. This is it comes with three units. One is the base, 2 are the satellites. Office Depot has the Google Wi-Fi wireless AC dual band router. Similar system, mesh system, one base, 2 satellites. And look at this. For $99, and prices keep coming down. But Netgear has a DOCSIS 3 modem. It is a 32x8 modem, which means the theoretical maximum speed is 1.4 gig. Is any cable system offering that yet? I wonder. What's the fastest we can get on Spectrum now? I think it's
400.
400, right? 3 something, 3 theoretical output. So the technology is there, but they just have to change the head end to support this. 32x8. Wow. That's a lot of capability. So $99, basically future proofing as things get better. It's approved by Charter and Spectrum already. It's on their list. So 20 off. Storage. Best Buy has a PNY USB 3.0 128 gig flash drive for $21.99, which is $18 off. Office Depot has a 32 gig USB 3.0 for $8.99. That's $9 off. And Staples has a Samsung 1 terabyte solid state drive for $149, which is $20 off. accessories. We've got a Corsair Pro RGB wireless Dolby 7.1 channel surround sound headset for $79.99, save $20 Best Buy. Office Depot has a Logitech Marathon mouse for $29.99. That's $20 off the regular price. And if you're looking for a good entry level wireless optical mouse and keyboard, Staples has the Logitech MK235 for $14.99, which is $15 off, so half price. Today is Big Monitor Day. So didn't go for the cheapest. I just went for the fanciest monitors today. Best Buy has an LG 34-inch ultra-wide monitor for $299. That's $50 off. Office Depot has another LG ultra-wide. It's a 29-inch monitor for $179. That's $120 off. And we have Acer 31.5-inch full HD widescreen IPS monitor. Now, this is more, I guess this is probably based on a television format, because the ultra wide ones are really narrow and long. This looks like it's probably just a TV rebranded as a monitor. For $179.99, save $70. Has anybody been to Walmart to look at television prices lately?
It's crazy. I was there yesterday.
I can't believe it. I saw 55-inch televisions for under $400.
They were selling yesterday. I went in there, and there was some TV for like $149. I want to say it was like a 40-something inch or 30-something inch, 36, 42, something like that. The TLC, I think, or was what it was.
And hey, for that price, if it lasts 4 years and you throw it away and get another one,
if it lasts 2 years,
yeah, I mean, it's just unbelievable. So, and in some cases, I don't know if I'd buy Walmart's, if Walmart has their own service plan, but if Square Trade, usually, but the price really determines, or the price of the television determines what the cost of the insurance is. So if the price of the TV is pretty low, you can get a fairly inexpensive contract. I've used it twice to have my Philips television fixed, and it paid for itself. So I got it when I bought my TV, my current TV at Costco. It was really reasonable to get their concierge service and the extended warranty. They already automatically extend double the warranty just by buying it at Costco. And then you can buy the extended warranty. It's not a lot of money. And I'm not a big fan of putting it on a lot of different things. A television is one I would consider putting it on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Printers and scanners. We've got a Epson Expression. This is a business class inkjet printer, all-in-one printer at Best Buy for $99. It's half price, $100 off. Office Depot has an HP OfficeJet Pro 8025 for $169.99. And this is impressive too. Well, what happened to the? No, that's okay. It's the next printer at Staples I wanted to mention. This OfficeJet can hold 225 sheets, auto duplex printer scanner fact copier for $169.99. And Staples has a Canon Image Glass wireless printer scanner copier, 250 sheet capacity, and 1 watt standby. That's pretty amazing. I mean, people, if you think about the current that's used by all the standby devices you have, all printers and things you have in your house, 1 watt of standby is pretty incredible. As long as it wakes up.
And it looks
cares?
like it's got a sheet feeder.
Yes, it does. It does have a sheet feeder.
Yeah.
It is not a fax machine, but it does have a sheet feeder.
Mm-hmm.
So $154.99, which is $45 off the regular price. So for the first time, there is an offering. This happens to be at Best Buy that actually is both home automation and security. So they have the Arlo Pro 2 4-camera indoor-outdoor wireless 1080 security camera system with a couple of programmable light bulbs and some other features there for $599. It's $200 off. It's a home security bundle. Arlo's expensive stuff, but people who have it like it. There's some idiosyncrasies about it. Look at it before you buy. But a good system. Office Depot has the Nest Learning Thermostat 3rd generation for $199, which is $50 off the regular price. And Staples has a TP-Link smart Wi-Fi plug for $19.99, which is $5 off the regular price. Okay, Fry's has a deal on what they call a Rise Teledrome. Now, this is not a fancy drone. What I do like about it is it's got the propeller guards on it, which is good if you're flying, if you're teaching kids to fly and stuff like that. 13 minutes flight time is impressive for the price of 99 bucks. And they also have accessories, reasonable accessories. Extra batteries, 19. You can replace the prop and the prop guards. I don't know why you need to change the color of the top of the drone unless
Because
you
they
have more.
want to.
Well, if you have several drones of the same kind and you want to distinguish between them, right? Yeah, snapping on a $9 color top might make sense.
Yeah.
But okay.
A Sharpie, a number 1, 2, and 3
yeah, I was
with
going to
Sharpie.
say I could print a label and stick it on the top, but okay. So they do have some promo code stuff you can go look at. The two ones they're highlighting here is a Dell 2-in-1 touchscreen laptop for $599, and they have a TP-Link AC2300 wireless gigabit router for $89.99. I don't know if it's an Archer. I don't think it's an Archer, but still, TP-Link makes great routers. Check out the promo codes. All right. For those of you who are interested in vehicle safety, they do have a universal license plate rear view backup camera for $49.99. Now, what it doesn't show is the screen that you see on the inside. So I don't know. There's got to be more to it than that. It just didn't show it in the ad. So that's $29.99 with a promo code. And then they have a Pro Dual dash cam. So it's got a rear view and a front view built into the actual mirror, and the mirror actually has the image in it. So when you activate the camera, it shows through the rear view mirror. $169.99, and it's $109.99 with a promo code. So we've got also a DisplayPort HDMI adapter here for a lot of things that go in DisplayPort. Even in computers themselves, they're not giving you, I guess HDMI is one of the more common ones now because it takes up a lot less real estate. And it's good for slimline laptops. But a lot of stuff is going DisplayPort, laptops, desktops. So these adapters are handy to have. $12.99, which is $24.99. It was $24.99, so $12 off. And then finally, some accessories here. This is an interesting one, a 3-port USB-powered 10100 Ethernet switch. USB powered. So if you're a technician, you run around and I remember watching a guy struggle one time. He was the IT guy who would do re-imaging and work on people's laptops. So he was working. He had an image on a small server and was re-imaging laptops, and he had it hooked up to at this time. It was ridiculous to see this. It was a hub. It was not a switch. This was not that long ago. I said, "Why don't they give you a switch?" Well, this is what they gave me. So this would be a really handy thing for technicians to have with a inexpensive. Now it's only 10100, but really, who cares? It's a USB power for working in closets and telecom rooms and things where you have to have a way to connect multiple devices. Was $19.99, saved $7 for $12.99.
How many ports is that?
3.
This solves a problem I had this week.
There you go.
Right.
I was looking for a.
Good.
Check it out.
I've got to connect 2 printers in a small area, and I really don't want to put a powered switch there or run another Ethernet cable. But one of the printers has got USB, so I'm sure that'll power this.
Mm-hmm. There you
For
go.
that hot dog.
Oh. All right. So 6-foot USB 3.0 extension cable, male to female. So it's really a through cable, extension cable. $4.99, $2 off. And 150 mini wireless USB Wi-Fi adapter for $7.99. It's a couple bucks off. And a 4-port USB 3.0 hub for $14.99. It says with power switches, which is intriguing. So you can, instead of unplugging and unplugging a device, you can just tap the switch on there, which is interesting. $14.99. It's $5 off. But wait, there's more. I was intrigued by this VTech cordless telephone. I know I'm getting into kind of office space right now, but having been the user of several of these type devices because we were a vendor that made them, this one was actually VTech makes good stuff. They make good wireless telephones, answering machines, that kind of, and they did delve into some other things. They do have a wireless doorbell and some other things. But this is they call it the VTech Aerostation VCS 702. And it is basically a conference phone. It works on an analog line. It has the full features of any desktop phone with directory calling. But what I liked about this was there are three legs to this thing as it sits on the desk. The main wide leg is the control panel that has the keypad and all that on it. But the other two are actually microphones that charge when they're plugged into the base, and you can unplug them and move them out onto the conference table. That's one of the problems with some conference phones is that if you have a single phone, people who are sitting 10, 12 feet away sound very different from the person who's sitting right next to it. And you just can't overcome that with a single microphone. So the professional systems will have corded microphones sitting out on the desk. These are wireless. It uses DESIT to stick those microphones out on the table. So small businesses might want to have a more professional conference room environment with this type of a phone. So this is an interesting one. It's at Staples. It also has what they call comfort noise, which is good because sometimes when there's silence in a conference, people think the phone call has dropped. So comfort noise is there to give you that unconscious, subconscious reassurance that the call is still operating. So that's another good feature for this phone. So $199, $30 off. I still use Malwarebytes. I use the free version, but in an office environment where you're trying to take care of a bunch of machines and you want to make sure it's actually actively monitoring for threats, this is the Malwarebytes Business 5-user license for $44.99, say $15. That's both of those are at Staples. Office Depot has a 2 terabyte Western Digital portable external hard drive with $69.99, $40 off the regular price. They also have a computer desk, kind of high tech looking. I mean, it's not real expensive, $99.99, $50 off. Probably doesn't take up a lot of room. It's all open though. It's an open architecture. It does have a sliding tray for the keyboard. Best Buy has an interesting device. Tell me what you think of this, Nick. The Elgato Game Capture HD60S. This plugs into the USB-C port on your gaming machine and will record your gaming experience. It's
Hold on,
$179.99.
not the USB. It's the HDMI. We have one of those.
I remember reading this and I thought they said USB-C.
I think it's powered by USB, and it has some control that goes to the PC over USB.
Okay.
But it hooks up to the HDMI and it passes
Oh,
through
yeah, because
the
you
HDMI.
got to have an
Yeah.
input. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe it's powered by USB-C. I did see that. I didn't read much further into it.
In the this ties into our previous discussion. When my kid, around 14, I think, he wanted to create YouTube content. He wanted to record his PlayStation stuff. So I got a deal on those, and yeah, so I got one like that, the Elgato.
I have the first generation of that, the Elgato Game Capture HD, and it's a great device. I'm sure this one is just as good. But yeah, the HDMI pass through, USB either C or 3.0 to hook up to the laptop so that you can record the video there locally. The cool thing about a device like this is it does all the H.264 encoding on board, so you can use a very low spec laptop, and it really is not going to tax it at all because it's all the encoding and processing is being done on board of the device rather.
And I'm starting a USB, or I'm sorry, a YouTube camp. And if you sign up today, you get one of these for free.
Oh, okay. Oh, how
Okay.
much for the camp?
I wonder.
It's very inexpensive.
Okay, great, perfect. Thank you.
I wonder, Nick. You know the VR headsets?
Yeah.
I wonder if you hook it up in line to the video feed, if it'll record it.
Well, if you're gonna hook it up to the VR headset,
You'll
since
get probably 2 pictures or something, but
since you'll be using the gaming computer anyway, the best way to do that would be to just run screen recording software on your gaming PC. That'd
yeah, but
probably be
not
the-
everything goes to the screen.
Yeah, but you could. There's some type of mirror mode I think that I've seen. I don't know exactly how it works, but yeah, maybe I'm not sure. But that'll introduce a little bit of latency though.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
Fair enough. Wait, there's more.
There's more. Actually, there's more. Best Buy has a $100 off on the. I love the name of this drone, Unique, but it's spelled YUNEEC. But what I like about this, for the price range, $400, it's got a gimbaled camera. That's the one thing. I have an inexpensive drone, but it has a fixed camera. So the higher you go, it's not looking down, it's looking ahead. So really the usefulness of this is kind of point of view looking. It's not good for looking down. But this one has a gimbaled camera. So typical remote control features, all that stuff. And but $399, $100 off. And then 2 things at Fry's. One is a Bluetooth streaming 30-watt, Bluetooth streaming with speakers for a classic turntable by Altec Lansing. So you can do listen to your old vinyl, stream it to 30-watt speakers, built-in FM radio, and it was $69 and now $49 with the instant savings. And then finally, Amnon, you will never have to look at that pile of flash drives anymore to identify, just like we had that special cover that would go on the drone to tell the difference. Now you can say, well, where's that information? That one's on Charlie Brown. Or to say, this one's on Woodstock. Okay, so find me that doc. It's on Fred Flintstone. So you don't have to worry about searching through the pile of USB drives anymore. $5 each after savings for rubberized USB character flash drives, and they're 8 gig each. And there you go for specials for May 26th, 2019.
Wow, thank you.
And when do we when does the bus come and pick us up for the tour?
When is who?
The tour. When we're going on the tour, with Elton John's going to open for us on the tour. When is that going to happen?
I have to get back with my what do you call them? The not the ad, yeah, the ad agency, and to talk with his manager, or maybe I'll just give him a call after the show.
Oh, Joey was asking me if that school was in Wakefield, and it was up that way. I'm not sure if it was actually Wakefield. It could be nearby there. And I'm sorry, I don't remember. It had so many
It
different
used
names.
to be called Raleigh School of Art.
That's right. Raleigh School of Art or Raleigh School of
Yeah.
Communication Arts or
That,
something like that. And
that's
ended up
it. Communication art.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was I remember
Yeah.
I remember trashing them when we were still on the radio, and I thought, well, I'm going to get sued. So
Yeah.
if they still exist in some form, but it was hard.
Now-
and what was so disappointing to me was I arranged the governing body for these type of schools is the
UNC
community
whatever.
college system in North Carolina. And I actually had the auditor, the person who was responsible for watching this school and giving them their license to operate in the state. And the woman who was the manager of the school, general manager, and this woman who worked for the state When we had the meeting, they hugged each other. So I knew we were doomed. Nothing was going to happen. Yeah, it looked like it. Yeah, in Wakefield, Joey's right. It must have been Wakefield. The building, they tore down the old building or built a new building. It was literally a cement circle, which is a horrible way to use space.
Why are we giving them all this airtime?
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. But to
let's
go
just say
back,
be careful where you go. Make sure you do your due diligence and find out
absolutely.
everything there is to know about any kind of place you pay money to go to school for.
You were saying that you can't find tablets.
No, I was saying that
It's hard.
there are no
Yeah.
like in the ads, there are
Oh.
not necessarily highlighted tablets every week.
Okay.
Best Buy typically does,
Well,
but Office Depot and Staples do not. They
well,
sell them in the store. I mean,
yeah.
they're there, but they don't.
And
don't
there's a
see-
newcomer.
What's that?
Walmart is rolling out 3 Android-powered tablets this last week. They rolled it, all priced under $100. The devices include an 8-inch version for $64, a 10.1-inch model for $79, and one at the same larger size with a detachable keyboard for $99. All have Google's Android operating system, 16 gig of storage, and promise 5.5 hours of use before a charge is needed. The new gadgets are part of Walmart's broader push to revitalize its electronics section and, if successful, could provide a jolt to the sluggish tablet market, which declined in 2018, according to Data Tracker Strategy Analytics. So you can go to Walmart and get a tablet now. It's under their own name.
Isn't this interesting? We've seen this now with tablets. They do this with they've got a line of PC gaming computers that are,
Yep.
I don't remember what they're called. This is a very interesting move by Walmart and they've got essentially their own brand of TV. Was it TLC is their brand, or is it
I don't know, but yeah,
Westinghouse, one of them?
Yeah, they have to they really have to compete head to head with Amazon on features, not just on how much they sell, offerings and stuff like that. So,
But here's the
they-
thing about things like this is they can just sell like an Amazon tablet, or they can sell a Google Galaxy tablet.
right.
But they've taken the burden of support, because that's what happens when it's your device.
Yep.
It's your problem to deal with. So they guess they feel that the support costs are worth them trying to compete with Amazon or Samsung or whoever. I don't
Whoever.
really know, frankly, anybody else that's making tablets besides Amazon and Samsung.
And
Maybe
it's not only that, Nick.
Yeah.
If they started carrying Amazon tablets, they wouldn't be in the news.
Well, they do carry Amazon tablets, I think.
No, I'm
They do.
saying if they decided to go with
True.
this or that, they would. But this puts them out there in the headlines.
But it makes me wonder, think about this, Amnon. These tablets are typically low price, like
Yeah,
very low price point.
yeah.
How can they, so they make the well, they're not making the tablet. I mean, it's being made in China
Obviously,
by
yeah.
whoever the hell. But they're R&Ding the tablet in some regard. They've got to get them built. They need to roll them out in stores all across the country.
Mhm.
And now they need to support them for a $75 tablet. They're not just
They make their money because every tablet comes with a built-in screensaver that you can't turn off. It's the people of Walmart that shows those pictures.
That's a great subreddit. by
And the
way.
only way you can turn it off is you have to pay, and that's what covers the cost.
You joke, but that probably is something. I mean, they probably will do something very similar to Amazon in that regard. I mean,
Yes.
Amazon sells and I don't know how much they can sell the home lock screen on an Amazon Fire tablet for, but literally every single person that has one of those tablets is seeing that home screen. I mean, it's
I have
talk
a
about
Fire.
direct advertising.
I have one of the earlier Fire tablets, and it comes up. And the only inconvenience I ever have is that there's an advertisement on there that I swipe away, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't ever see anything else. So
that, I mean, that I don't know.
it
I just find it
It was a
interesting.
difference of like $20 or $30 when I
Yeah.
bought it. So I think I paid $29 for that one when I got it.
Well,
Yeah.
anyway,
So what's the goal here, though? Is Walmart trying? Walmart's not trying to become a major tablet manufacturer.
Well, look at their whole department. The store by me had a kind of crappy electronics department before. They blew it out with desktops and laptops and I mean, now it's like they look like Best Buy
I'll have to go check
with
out
how
mine.
much stuff they're selling. I was amazed. I walked in there and I said they have a really respectable amount of laptops and other things that they sell.
Hmm.
I tried to buy a phone there once on sale, an iPhone. That was not a good experience because they had like 3 per store. So
I went to Walmart Friday to get some windshield washer, and I got like 6 or 8 bottles, a gallon. That cashier was the slowest cashier I've ever seen in my life. As I was standing in line, I mean,
what the
the
hell do you have
way
to-
that he was picking up this from this guy and scanning it and put it in the bag and
he was
picking up,
thorough.
huh?
He was
Yeah,
thorough.
thorough my yeah.
Well, you know what?
Whoa!
They're doing that, Amnon, to encourage everybody to
Yeah.
use the scan and go
So
aisles.
let me tell you what I did when I got there. I
You
put
stole your stuff. You put it.
I-
You put it in your back and ran.
I put 1 bottle on the belt, and I got some shop towels, and I came and he's looking at my cart, and it's like he's looking at me like, well, what are you gonna do? And I said, I have 6 of these and 1 of these. He said, oh, okay. And I guess he thought real quick and he figured he can just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 instead of picking up each one and moving it. And
Turning
it
it.
went.
Now, well, these look the same, but they could be different. So let's look at the bottom.
Oh boy.
Oh, now
Sir,
this
this
is
has a
the
different
same.
SKU.
Anyway, Comcast is reportedly working on a device designed to closely monitor a user's health. Sounds great.
Oh my God.
Sounds serious. The device will monitor people's basic health metrics using ambient sensors, with a focus on whether someone is making frequent trips to the bathroom or spending more time than usual in bed. Comcast is also building tools for detecting falls, which are common and potentially fatal for seniors. That it's nice, but I mean, the article again, Gal, here's the article is talking about how many times you go to the bathroom.
Yeah, well, this time I would listen to the article because they're talking about Comcast. They are known to be evil. So
Now, I know we talked before, and I'm not into this Tor, the browser.
yeah, yeah.
So the Tor project last week made the first stable version of its privacy-focused browser available on the Google Play Store for mobile. This new mobile browser integrates the Tor protocol stack into a standalone browser and replaces Orfox as the main way to navigate the Tor network from an Android device. So, is this something that is worth people going to get, or is this targeted at
Well,
certain?
no, that's actually interesting. So yeah, proxy instead of a browser. So with a standard VPN, but either a free one or one you buy, you usually get some sort of software that acts as a VPN on your phone, especially on Android. I don't know how it's working in iPhone. I'm guessing it's similar. And what you get is usually you can choose from the VPN provider where the connection could go out from. Let's say you want to contact a UK only site. You get a VPN that can connect you to can let you exit the internet from the UK, and you install that and run that. With Tor, the whole idea is that every connection or every couple of minutes, it switches your exit point. So you're never in the same location. The Tor is about anonymity. And this approach means you can use whatever browser you like using, and you can do that. But keep in mind that some of the browsers, I don't know about all of them, but some of the browsers still have, let's call it phone home transmissions, where the browsers collects, they usually say it's anonymized data, but it does create some sort of user profile about whoever's using the browser at that time. So I'm guessing Tor will probably give a warning of make sure you're using a private browser or something like that, a privacy-aware browser. But yeah, it's an interesting approach. Tor isn't fast, right? You need to remember that.
Well, you have to give up something if you want complete anonymity.
Is there a Tor camp?
Yeah, Kyle's teaching it. I think
we
it's at his
can,
house.
but there's no money in it. Tor
No.
is completely.
That's
it's
the
like,
wrong
okay,
attitude, Kyle.
Yeah. Oh,
Wrong attitude.
no.
There's
No,
money in
there's no
everything.
money for whoever joins the camp to make out of. I'm
Doesn't
not saying
matter.
that
Okay.
we can still sell the camp. That's not a problem. Privacy camp.
Yes.
Hey.
That's
Yeah.
actually a great idea.
No,
for
but
a
that's
camp.
the whole point. They don't want
Yeah.
privacy. You want an exposure camp.
Oh,
No,
wait,
no,
I
no,
want
no, no.
privacy. Hold on, wait, but I want my Amazon Echo and my Ring video doorbell and my
That's right.
Chinese security system.
Privacy camp is the easiest camp in the world. Day one, throw out all your electronics. Day two, you still got electronics? Throw them out.
You enter a lead room and they close the door.
Yeah.
The catch
That's it.
is you have to apply by mail. You have to mail your application to,
Let me
your
ask you
PO
this.
box.
There
Let me ask-
are rehab centers for people with internet addiction. I mean, it's a big
Oh,
deal. But
That's
hey,
privacy
did you,
camp.
did you see the story that now? Let's see. When is the story from? One day ago. CrossFit.
Yeah.
Quit Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
They said they are not going to deal with these people anymore because they're utopian. What did they call it?
Socialists.
Utopian socialists. Wow.
Yeah, but I mean, well, and so this all sparked off of the fact that on Instagram, CrossFit is one of these national gym training groups, and they had a group on Instagram with like
1.6 million. Yeah.
1.6 million users, and Facebook just deleted the group. So they're like, okay, well, game on, mother effers, and they just shut down everything associated with CrossFit on Facebook and Instagram, which
And
is
they said
great.
it was over something. Oh, here's the state. It said the move to quit Facebook and Instagram came in the wake of the decision to delete without warning or explanation the Banting 7-Day Meal Plan, a group that advocated a diet aimed at eating food that is close to its natural state as possible, free from processing, additives, preservatives, and sugar. That's
Who?
really dangerous. I mean, there's a good reason why they want to eliminate that.
Very controversial.
Oh my gosh. It's like, so they said, we're done. Bye.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting.
Yeah, it is something. I mean, they're taking a huge financial risk here, but you get to the point where you've just had enough.
I don't know if I talked about this on the show, but I went to an event probably 3 or 4 weeks ago for a candidate that is exploring the opportunity to run for governor in 2020 for North Carolina, and they talked a lot about social media during it. And at the end of the event, it was time for questions and answers. And anybody that knows me, I'm a very shy individual, and I'm not one to ask questions or whatnot. But I stood up and asked the guy. I said, "Well, how can you?" The guy happens to be a Republican that's running, and they talked about a lot about putting a lot of assets into Facebook. And I said, "How can you, in the right, how can you justify putting services on Facebook?" CrossFit's the same example. You put all your stock into connecting people on Facebook or Instagram, and then it's just gone. Facebook just decides for whatever reason, it's probably some fake flag in an algorithm, and an individual doesn't check into it, and bam, your group with 1.6 million users is gone overnight. Gone.
Is
No
all
rhyme
of
or
the
reason.
is all of the Facebook for Business stuff free?
Yes, Facebook for Business is free, but that's more of their Facebook for Business is their back end more than anything else. From my experience.
Yeah, I keep getting emails from them wanting to wanting for me to take advantage of Facebook for Business. This is that's not appropriate for me.
Yeah, I mean, so what it is it's essentially a more in-depth page manager. You get advanced analytics. You can do your ad buys and your purchases from back there. But I think anybody that is putting a lot of stock into growing a group on a single social media is putting themselves seriously at risk. No, not even. We don't even talk about politics. This CrossFit thing was not political whatsoever. It's very. I mean,
Choosing your diet is very political.
is it?
Oh,
Yeah.
listen to their full statement was great. It says Facebook's news feeds are censored and crafted to reflect the political leanings of Facebook's utopian socialists while remaining vulnerable to misinformation campaigns designed to stir up violence and prejudice.
It's a very woke comment.
Oh, wow. You're right. Yeah.
But that just is illustrating the point that this case was not even political. Now, I don't know. There could have been a lot of political talk going on in that group, but it seems very unlikely. CrossFit, I don't think, is a specifically Democrat or Republican stronghold. So I doubt there was a vibrant political thing going on in there. But yeah, I mean, what do you do as CrossFit when your groups are just gone? All the stock invested in that group.
You're big enough to be able to run a server with a forum on it, and
Well,
you
you don't
tell
need
them
to
to
do
go
that.
there, and you
Mastodon.
control it.
Mastodon is trying to. That's what Mastodon is. It's you host your own social network, and you God, what's the term they use to connect to other ones? It's not vetted. It's called familiar with the Mastodon term to connect? Federated. You federate with other social networks, other closed groups, and then you create essentially your own Facebook or Twitter. That's
Well,
what a lot of people.
It's more than that. There is like an inter social networking protocol that is being developed, and Mastodon is just one of them. Have you ever heard about Dystopia?
The new browser?
No.
No, that's discensored. No, I
No.
don't know about Dystopia.
Dystopia?
The word sounds.
No, hold on. I'm probably butchering the name. I'll get that in a second. Back when 2006, 7, 8, when Facebook just started Diaspora.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Yeah. So back when Facebook and Twitter, just the fad of them was so high, the growth would cause a lot of interruptions in the network, right? The blue whale was a thing, right? Twitter would crash again and again. Facebook had some other. Facebook was always commented upon their privacy ethics, and a group of people, technical gurus, some from those companies, came up with started a project called Diaspora. Diaspora is decentralized social network. So you can host a node, a hub, or I don't remember I've looked into it then. I didn't really look into it later. But basically, you can host a server that your profile is on that server, or you can host your profile on someone else's server. There are some free, of course, that they supply, and the servers within the Diaspora network, they can interconnect.
Mhm.
And so if Nick is hosted on the Nissan Communication server and I'm hosted on the Shkolnik server, right? And we can still communicate with one another. We can still friend one another, but the content for Nick stuff is always retained on the Nissan communication one, and mine is always retained on mine. So you get the social networking, the social networking experience with a wall, a stream of consciousness, sort of, that flows into you from your friends, and whatever the implementation that you're going to use, right, will control what you see in the feed. So you also have control on how the feed works. There's no power to a single point in the network to take you down, and there's no power for a single point to malfunction also and take the entire network down. And so a completely distributed setup.
Famous last word.
Why do you mean famous last word?
Because there's always something that can happen.
Well, the ISP that hosts you can decide that you're breaking. Yeah, that there's always a point of failure, but there's no single point of failure for the entire network. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And that's what Mastodon does. And the whole point with that is, if you want, if I don't like Gall or the people that are on Gall's network, I just don't allow posts from Gall's network or people from Gall's network to see posts on my board. No, maybe not. I can't see posts on their boards, I think is how it works. You essentially block them from people inside of your closed network from seeing his things. But I like Amnon's content, so I would federate with Amnon. I could see all his stuff, all his users' things. These aren't individual social networks. These are groups of people that make their. So Gall's got a cord cutting group that's got 5,000 members, and Amnon's got an ISP group that's got 3,000 members. But I don't like Gall, so I say I don't want to see it. I don't want people from my group seeing any of his 5,000 users' posts. That's the whole point.
Right, and any of the users within Nick's server can decide to, download their entire copy of data and host it on another one and move out of it.
Yeah.
So it's like complete control. Complete control for the end user and for the hub hosting.
But it's a pain in the ass, which is a problem because
it makes it complex. Yeah, it makes it complex. That's always the issue, right? We were talking, I think, probably a few months ago. You were, Amnon, you were reading an article about the inventor of the web working on a new project.
Yeah.
It was called Signal, I think. I've been checking out on it. I've never been able to install. I have been able to install a node of that. It's still very sparse. It's still very barren, but it is a similar idea to that.
Okay.
It's just, instead of just focusing on social network, he's trying to take it to the next step and focus on the storage and make it like a personal storage where you can decide whether it's shared with the world or not, and it's hosted locally and it's done via that network. It's still too early to determine where this is going. It might be an interesting thing. It might be not. It's not ready for anybody to actually use. So it's not ready for
Hello.
anybody to
actually. Whoever is called in, you need to turn down your speakers.
For the show, not for you listening to us. Hello. Okay.
They turned the speakers way down.
Yeah, I'm guessing they're calling from the same machine they're listening to the show. They just need to mute the show.
Don't worry about it.
Yep. So yeah. So this story is interesting. Have you ever heard about Nextcloud?
Next.
So yeah, OwnCloud and Nextcloud. OwnCloud and Nextcloud are open source projects to host storage on a server, like Google Drive, Box.net, Dropbox, like that, but privately hosted. Nextcloud, OwnCloud was a project that started, and then the fork, and then there's Nextcloud and OwnCloud. I'm talking about Nextcloud, the newer 4. They've advanced in their development, and one of the things they did in the previous 2 versions, they added a plugin system called Social, which basically hooks up to Diaspora, Mastodon, to all that federated social networking protocol. So now you get to host, you get your own cloud storage. They have their own, Android and iPhone apps to sync data from your storage. They have Windows apps to sync storage back to it. So you get the entire experience like a hosted storage, cloud storage, all the features of that, syncing and choosing to share. I'll send you a link and it just goes to my server, and that link can expire after a week and you're safe. Stuff like that, like keeping your information accessible by you from everywhere and still keeping it safe. And now hooking up to that social networking, it is becoming very interesting. One of the what fuels Nextcloud development is they are selling services to large installations like universities that take them on, and that means that those universities will now have some sort of social network built into the university login. And if that is probably the only scenario that I can see of a social networking succeeding to build itself and start getting traction, because social networks for the user, they succeed only if you start getting more than 50 friends connected. And a scenario like a school or your university might be able to break that barrier and create a meaningful social network outside of the big, huge ones. And if they do keep that with the ability of transferring your identity to another server, right, there is a good chance that this architecture will get somewhere.
Gal, are there any issues with if you have the Nextcloud in your house with the ISP?
No.
Because there used to be restrictions. Amnon, I might be dating myself, but wasn't there restrictions with running a server off of your personal?
Oh, still is.
Yeah. So how do you run the Nextcloud at home as a server when you're on
It's
Spectrum?
an HTTP. Well, I don't know about Spectrum, but the main issue today with cable is that the connection is asymmetric, so you have limited outgoing bandwidth.
That's not the thing. I mean, I was explained a couple of times that the way that they none of them allow you to run a server at home. That's in their terms. And I was asking, so how do you know? And they say what we look for is how many connections are connecting from outside into that IP address. And if we see over 10 or so connecting different IPs originating a connection, then we'll cancel that account.
Well, I'll check Google Fiber's end user license.
I'm sure they do the same thing, because what they want you to do is they want you to host it with them and pay good money for a server.
Yeah, but that's for business usage.
It doesn't matter.
Sound like
that's the thing.
Business usage.
No, it's not. It's for anybody. I mean, they say if you need a server, then you're a business. I mean, they classified you.
Okay, so this is part of reality changing, right?
Maybe
needs a server today, and it's
they haven't caught up with that concept yet, though.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm saying let me compare the Google Fiber end user license, because they sell you a symmetrical connection, right? when I buy fiber, I bought 100 megabytes connection. It's 100 byte down, 100 byte up.
Mm-hmm.
So that means they expect me to, let's say, stream out of my home, right?
Mm,
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know. I mean, as far as I know, that's what AT&T and Spectrum were telling me. But no, I was.
If you're,
Go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
If you're I think like anything else, that stuff is in there for people that abuse it, right? You can get
Yeah.
unlimited data on T-Mobile until you're streaming 4K content 24 hours a day, and they delete your account. So I mean, I that's what I think a lot of that is
Yeah.
you
It's,
know, if you're seeded, if you're a major download provider from your home internet, and you're using terabytes of download data a month, or upload data a month. Yeah,
Upload.
upload if you're sending hundreds of terabytes of upload data, they're going to say, okay, well, you're operating a server, your account is going
Yep.
to be banned. But if you're, I mean, I run a whole bunch of services from home. I run a Plex server, I run a little web server to send files quickly to people if I need to, and I know Gal does the same. I don't know if you run any servers from your house there, Amnon. Actually, that's not true. You
No,
do. You stream an audio server from your house. You are
yeah,
absolutely hosting.
but it's one connection.
It's not.
Well, it is. It's actually just going to Restream.
No, audio server.
Yeah, the audio comes from different places. Correct.
So there
Yeah.
you go. You are running a
Yeah.
you know, everybody runs little home servers for stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, if you know were had thousands of people listening to your stream, it's a different question.
But no, I was going to go back to what happened with CrossFit, and I think they
Oh.
handled it wrong. If
Okay.
I was them, I wouldn't just delete my account. I would go and set up another forum somewhere that I know I want to stay there, and then I start telling people, "Hey, go over there. We're going to delete it in a month. Don't start any conversations here. This is only to let you know that we moved to. Here's the address." And then
but then it wouldn't be news.
Well, they probably
that's
already
true
banned their
too.
account anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But yeah, that's if a bunch of big companies will do this, that will make Facebook think their strategy. I was really hoping that when they did away with Alex Jones, that there'll be some kind of uprising.
Not a chance.
Did Alex Jones use Mastodon or something like that eventually?
I don't know.
Surprisingly not. He has never moved to Mastodon. I found that very interesting. I don't think he wants to be responsible for hosting something because of the stature of him, and I just
Well,
don't think-
anything he hosts, right? I mean, even if he streams, he's using some ISP, so
yeah.
he needs backing from someone who will say, "I will not shut you down."
Well, that's the problem. I mean, we even saw it months ago with Gab. Their
Mhm.
domain provider told them, get your domain out of here. I mean, that's Amnon, and all of you guys have been in this technology field a lot longer than I have, but that is uncomprehendable to me.
Right.
That an ISP, or not an ISP, a registrar would say, get your domain out of here. It's not like they were hosting child pornography.
Right.
Or were selling drugs on the black market. They're a Twitter ripoff.
Child pornography is actually okay.
Well, it must be if
on
it exists on
Facebook.
the internet.
There are people that talk about it. They'll take you off, but they'll allow Twitter messages about Islamist groups that want to, are attacking Christians in Egypt, talking about, let's go in and cut their heads off. So
Yeah. Yeah, there's no
Well, as long as
rhyme or
there's
reason.
only anti-Christian Islamics in the group, nobody's going to flag them as inappropriate, right?
Yeah.
The moment you get a Christian in and he flags them, that's when shit starts. So
Nick, do you know about Quad Verum? on Mastodon?
No, is that a group?
It's a group. It's citizen journalism.
Oh,
basically,
no,
is the
no.
basic. Yeah, check it out because a lot of people are fleeing there now from Twitter. It's a little bit different from. It's not like Gab. Some of the. I don't know. I think James Woods is back on Twitter again. He was thrown off for a while, but he
Yeah,
seems
he's
to be
back on
back.
Twitter.
But there's a couple of people that I followed on Twitter that were permanently banned who wound up here. Kind of an interesting. Yeah, it's Mastodon based.
The only Mastodon I'm on is the No Agenda show's got a Mastodon server.
Hmm.
And I'm on it. I've never really used it, but I am on it. I think it's noagendasocial.com is their Mastodon page. Maybe we need a Computers 2K Now Mastodon.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with
No.
support.
The only problem with it is the issue with stuff like this is if you don't have a large enough group of people, you're kind of wasting your time. Like, fortunately for No Agenda, they've got thousands and tens of thousands,
Yeah,
if not hundreds of
that's-
thousands of listeners.
Mhm.
But if you have let's say you've got, even if you have 1,000 listeners to something a week, right? And 5% of those people pop over on a social network. I mean, it's boring. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to see
Yeah,
posts from the same.
That's right. Yep.
And that's kind of what Gab fell into in some regard. Because I mean, do you really want to see the same? You want to see Amnon posting every Monday about a show? There's not a whole lot of content. People stop using it.
Right.
And that's the big issue with Mastodon. If you don't federate with good servers, you just
Well,
end up in the abyss.
that's exactly the stats about social networking. If you don't get 50 people, right, into your social network, and each of these have 50 people, the network will not thrive. That's what the research is about this, and I'm guessing the data isn't complete anyway. But that's what they came up for now. That's the basic rule of thumb measurements. So if you want engagement by people, you need 50 people. I'm not talking about 50 active people. I'm talking about 50 friends hooked up into the social network, and at least 5 of those needs another 50 friends, right? So, and only then you'll start getting activity that is building other activities, right? The only reason I'm in a constant debate. I'm on one hand, I want to delete all my Facebook stuff, just Facebook, delete the Facebook account completely, mainly because I find I haven't used it in a long time. But then, I don't know, once a month, once every 2 months, I do step in and I peer at the world of my peers that have been active there, and I'm still stuck there,
Yeah.
right? So, and I used to use it a lot at the beginning. I really like the concept. I like the interaction. I like the communication. Social networking is definitely here to stay. It's not going away in any form, right? We had forums before, then we had the extended forums called social networking. But
it'll be interesting to see
but it'll
what the
probably evolve. Yeah.
what the average shelf life basically is as some new things come out, how long they last, what thrives, what doesn't. What are the key factors for success?
Not very long. I mean,
No,
you're
not
seeing
very
it.
long.
You remember there was a blogging. First of all, remember blogging, right? Blogging was the fad. That
Yeah.
was a bit before social networking. Web version 2. You remember they call that way? Stupid name in my opinion. Yeah, and when Facebook came out, it was, is this the continuation of Web.2, 2.0? And so Blogger, but there was one. I'll find the name in a bit. One of the very popular blogging platform, I think it was even before Blogger, while it died in the States, it has become the blogging platform in Russia. It was bought by some Russian investors, and it became the blogging. It's just the fad moved. It never really died. It just replaced location. the world is so huge, right? That I find it intriguing that everybody's talking about Facebook, but then again, the Chinese, they're using some other they're focused on some
QQ.
other QQ, yeah. They're using something else. The
TikTok.
Koreans, they're using something else. Indians are using something else. The Russians, they have VR, VK, something like that. KV. There's
KV.
like, yeah, there's like, it's still segmented. And I think stuff like Mastodon and Diaspora and stuff like that, there's a chance that while it will remain segmented in terms of the communities, it might create like a more coherent experience eventually. But it'll take time. It'll take time. It's not a fad. Like, it won't be a fad like Facebook, because there's no marketing driving it. There's no design, like specific design at it. So a brave new world.
Yeah. All right. It's this time of day. Anything else anybody wants to bring up real quick?
Don't
No?
forget, my camp starts next week. Registration is $2,000 in advance,
Wow.
and we can restrict
No
we can-
refunds, right? No refunds policy.
No refunds. All I have to do is take registrations for 1 week, and then I can shut down.
No refunds, no guarantees.
How to make money on the internet. That's the name of the camp. And I show people, here's how I made the money. Go for it.
Do you have a pile of money to show them how much you made?
Piles of it.
Yeah, all the money that they gave you to go
That's
to
right.
camp.
Oh boy.
Cash only.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
In,
All right,
in,
guys.
in 5 to 10 years, we're gonna see Nissan communication busted down, and they'll show this clip as evidence that we were a scam.
We
Yeah.
keep every month we double our fees, but it doesn't seem to make any difference. People keep coming back.
Yeah, well, double of nothing.
That's it. How much does it cost? Twice as much as it used to.
Double or nothing. Okay. Thanks, Spence. Thanks, Guy. Nick. Y'all have a great Memorial Day. Just remember what Memorial Day is all about. It's we turned it into a celebration, but really it's not. It's to remember those who gave everything.
So you find it strange as well, right? It's just
Yeah,
because we're
yeah.
outsiders.
Yeah.
That kills me. Yeah.
So
Back home, Memorial Day is a solemn day. It's
it
like,
is supposed to be,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. So good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Katie, and Donna. Thanks everybody for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing. Back up your hard drive, update your virus scanner. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. Tonight at 7, Nick Craig hosts Against the Norm. And at 9, Mike Phillips hosts The Crypto Culture Show. Both on Wilmington Big Talker 106.7 FM. And you can listen on TuneIn. Link is in the navigation bar on the left there if you don't know how to get there. See you next week, everybody.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Telestream's Wirecast software, StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.